87% of most real estate agents fail. But why is that actually the case? I mean, a lot of people say that you can just get into the industry, close a couple deals, make a bunch of money, and off you go. But the success rate in real estate is actually quite atrocious. And what I want to get into today is why that's the case. Because I don't want you to become one of those stats. I want you to get into this industry with passion, excitement, build the business of your dreams, create the lifestyle you've always wanted, and have a great time while doing it. And not many people explain what I'm about to talk to you today. So stick with me, because if you understand the principles that I'm going to be walking through today, it will completely change your business. But most people don't actually take the time to take a step back, understand these concepts, which is why they ultimately end up failing. What's up, guys? It's Mike Sherrard. Welcome back to another video, and I'm super excited to explain these because we're gonna go a little bit deeper than what you're likely familiar with. We're not gonna talk about fluff and all this nonsense and sugarcoat things. This is gonna be exactly why realtors are failing, and I hope that you actually take a minute to understand these concepts. Now, if you do get any value from this, please make sure you smash that like button for me and subscribe to give me a little bit of support. So the first one is a bit abstract and something that not many people either think about or actually want to acknowledge, which is why we're gonna hit it right on the head right here. The first one is competition. Now, what are we gonna say about competition? I mean, there's lots of agents in every market. It's really easy to focus on competition, and that's where people fail. A lot of agents get into the industry all fired up, motivated, and excited to crush other agents in their market. And I see this happen time and time again, where people are focusing on the other agents in their market, their listings, what they got on social media, their successes, their wins, and they're always focused on maybe a couple agents that they're competitive with in their market, and their focus is to crush those agents. But the problem is inherently and subconsciously what you're doing is focusing on losing, because you're focusing on the fact that if you don't crush them, they win, and inherently you lose. And now you've got this really negative perspective that's actually draining your energy and your thoughts and flooding your thoughts with constant comparison. And we all know that comparison is the death of joy. So what you need to do to get over the comparison of trying to crush your competition is do what I've done over the last few years, is actually focus on becoming so great that your competition can't keep up. And if you focus on just yourself and becoming 1% better every single day, you'll be 365% better by the end of the year. And all that you need to do as a new agent is focus on being better than you were yesterday and last week and last month. And if you continue to make progress and focusing on what you can do better and what you can control, you're focusing on winning instead of focusing on losing by comparing yourself to the competition. Now, the second reason why most agents fail in real estate is discipline. So let's talk about discipline for a second. Now, a lot of people get into real estate because they don't want a 9-to-5, they don't want a boss, they want to be their own boss, which is great. I do. Wouldn't anybody like to be their own boss and run their life on their own terms? But the problem is that they still have the employee mindset. See, the problem with most people when they get into real estate is you don't have a boss. You don't have any accountability. There's no repercussions if you don't do the things you're supposed to. And what happens is they come in with this motivation and this fire in order to crush it. The problem is that if they don't do something they're supposed to do today, like maybe prospect, and they don't do their cold calling or door knocking today, well, nobody's gonna say anything. And if you don't do it tomorrow, nothing's gonna happen. And you don't do it for the next month, and nobody says anything. And the problem is that after a couple of months, you realize that you just lived your life on your own terms, but you didn't do what you had to do, and now you don't have any business, and you're wondering why you're struggling. And the problem is that most agents don't have the self-accountability and the discipline to actually succeed as an entrepreneur. There's a lot of people that are meant to be employees, and that's completely okay. Employees are the people that keep the world and the industries running. Absolutely incredible. But the problem is that some people don't properly shift their mindset and their perspective from being an employee to being a self-accountable entrepreneur, where it only depends on you. And discipline is without question one of the biggest reasons why people fail. Now that leads very seamlessly into the next thing, which is organization. So let's talk about organization for a second. There's a few things that you really need to be organized with as a realtor if you want to succeed. And what you'll see is it's a very common denominator for the ones that fail. They're not organized. They do not have a properly optimized schedule that they actually stick to and are held accountable to on an ongoing basis. They are not organized with their numbers. I can tell you with pretty good certainty that if I talk to a pool of about 100 new agents that are within their first year of real estate, the majority of them don't know their numbers in terms of their prospecting or their conversions or their database or their leads. And the problem is that it's a numbers business. Business is a numbers game. And if you don't know your numbers, you're not able to make adjustments, tweaks, and changes in order to grow or scale your business. And the problem is that most people are just running blindly, doing everything without strategy, without intent, and just hoping that it's all going to come together. But when you don't know your numbers, you don't have the ability to actually make the strategic changes you need in order to focus on what's actually working and get rid of what's not working. And the problem here is that most agents end up doing what they enjoy the most, but not actually what works the best, and then they fall flat within their first year. And the last one is going to come at you with a bit of a curveball, which is actually the following, which is mindset. So let's talk about mindset. One of the big problems I see is that most agents don't actually believe in themselves. And sometimes it's not to the agent's fault. Sometimes it's because growing up they've been bullied, or they've been told that they're not gonna make it, or they're gonna be told that it's never gonna work, or they didn't have support from their family or their friends or their relatives. And they have this mindset that's really struggling to help them grow. And unfortunately, that if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe it's gonna happen, others aren't going to believe it's happened, and you're not going to make it succeed in real estate. A lot of new agents come into the business wanting to do maybe 24 deals in their first year, 2 deals a month, which is incredible. But subconsciously, when they say that, they don't inherently believe it. And what you'll see, again, as a common denominator among successful agents, even brand new ones that crush it in their first year, is that they have this unwavered conviction that they are going to make it work, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to make it work. A lot of new agents focus on 1 or 2 things that they're gonna dabble with because they want to. Maybe they do YouTube, maybe they do Facebook ads, maybe they do door knocking, maybe cold calling. But the problem is that in my personal opinion, the mindset that I had and that most people should have in their first year is you should be willing to do whatever it takes by any means necessary to scale your business. You should be cold calling, door knocking, running Facebook ads, creating YouTube videos, hosting local events, going to other networking opportunities, and you should fill every hour of your day that you can with productive opportunities to scale your business. But the problem is that most agents do not have that mindset. They want to do what they enjoy doing or what they want to do, not what they need to do. And if you talk to a lot of first year agents that just finished their first year of real estate and they're not where they wanted to be, you could ask them, did they cold call? Did they door knock? Are they running Facebook ads every day? Are they putting out YouTube videos every week? Did you host local events? Did you go to other networking events? And they're going to be saying no to a couple of those every single time. And that means at the end of the day, they didn't do what it took to scale, and now they're trying to talk about why they're not succeeding. So if you do these 4 things, it's almost a certain fact that you're going to scale in your first year of real estate, and you're not gonna be one of the 87% that fail within the first 5 years. You're gonna be one of the 13% that absolutely crush it, build the business of your dreams, and have a whole heck of a lot of fun while doing it. So I'd love to know what you think. If you have any comments, ideas, questions about this or how to build a business in your first year, drop a comment below and I'm more than happy to respond. So thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.